Hello, hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Skeptics and Seekers Sunday Sermon Shorts. This is a quick video. William Rowan, I think, a former Archbishop of Canterbury, is speaking about the charged political rhetoric in the U.S. And I just want to add, you cannot really separate political rhetoric from conservative evangelical fundamentalist rhetoric. It's kind of the same thing these days, and he's commenting on some of the things that Hegseth has said, and probably others, but he calls him out by name. This video is very short, and I'll add some commentary after it is done.
About this generalized interest in the Antichrist and in political figures who have now broken with Trump, like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Tucker. I would like to ask you, Ron, about this generalized interest in the Antichrist and in political figures who have now broken with Trump, like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Tucker Carlson is often talked about, who are suggesting that there is something demonic going on. What do you make of all that?
At surface level, it's another example of the incredibly overheated nature of political argument in the States at the moment.
Yes.
And for nearly 2,000 years, people have been identifying the Antichrist with people they don't like very much.
Yes.
So it's not exactly new. After all, the Pope was Antichrist for a lot of my Anglican predecessors.
Yes.
And was depicted in profoundly offensive and diabolically coloured terms. So at that level, I think that's nonsense. Already in the New Testament, you have the qualification in the letters of John that Antichrist is all over the place. It's not going to be one enormous figure with horns on his head taking over the world, so that you can say, "Oh, yes, that's Antichrist. I know anywhere." all kinds of deeply subversive anti-life, anti-God elements which are creeping around all the time, and there are those in power who enable them. In that sense, I'll put my neck on the block and say I think there is something demonic in the wider sense in the political culture of the United States at the moment, that the permission being given to articulate in the name of God views which are, I've thought, completely antithetical to the gospel. And Pete Hegseth's rhetoric about the violent obliteration of enemies, period, that strikes me as diabolical in that broad sense of something which is working against the gospel.
Okay. All right, let's discuss, but not too long. I'm really interested in the aspect of this where he is suggesting that this kind of charged rhetoric is antithetic to the Gospels. It makes me wonder sometimes if the people who talk about what is or isn't antithetical to the Gospels have read the Gospels. Jesus used the most charged and foul language of anybody. It may be Paul. Paul is a little bit more foul, if possible. But Jesus, in the Gospels, he used personal ad hominem whenever he felt like it. He'd get angry, have tirades against the Jewish leaders who he should have been treating with respect, even if he thought they were wrong. So it just makes me wonder. I actually think the fundies are closer to Jesus with regard to the way he spoke about people that he didn't like, and the way he spoke to them directly to their face. That said, I think I know what he means. He has a Jesus and a set of Gospels that closely matches his particular conscience, his mores, his sensibilities. And so we've got quite a few Jesus out there, quite a few gospels out there. We've got the English progressive church leader. We can't really get away with saying he doesn't know his Bible. He knows his Bible. I'm pretty sure he knows his Bible better than I do, much better than I do. And by the way, that would be many, many times better than you do if you're the average person. So we must try to avoid saying things like that because that just makes it sound stupid. When we suggest that someone like this hasn't read the Gospels, I was being tongue-in-cheek to make a point. And the point is this: he sees a very different Jesus and a very different message from the Gospels than the evangelical fundamentalist of the United States. They are so different. And I want you to take this on board for a moment. Really think about it. That this former Bishop of Canterbury is so loathed by the language of demonization, and he should be. And yet, in that same speech, even he says, yes, I guess if I had to put my neck out, I would say that there's something demonic going on in American politics. And once again, when you say American politics, we're really talking about American Christianity. How bad does it have to be? How big of a difference does it have to be for this man to pull out and play the demonic card? He didn't call anyone specific demonic, although he did call out Hegseth. Pretty good candidate. He didn't call out Trump. So that's pretty interesting that he went for Hegseth and not, Trump, who, his favorite sport is to try to say 6 most foul things before breakfast every morning. And so the difference is so big between English progressive and American conservative that the English progressive says demonic. But those aren't the only differences. We don't have to go to England. American conservatives versus American progressives. The differences are so stark between the groups. They seem like completely different denominations who are based on completely different gods, completely different prophets, completely different scriptures, completely different creeds. That's what they seem like when you read the news every day and you focus on this. You just see it, and it's undeniable. And so it makes me wonder why Christians feel like the Gospels are so clear about what's intended, about what is Christ-like. Well, Christ-like depends on whoever you listen to. Yes, you can read your Bible, but nobody is going to give a tinker's damn about your opinion of Christ-like if you don't fall in line with whoever's talking at the time. Because all of these people think they have a direct line to Christ, a direct understanding of Jesus, a direct understanding of the Gospels. And yet those understandings are this different. And I find that really, really fascinating. There is a lot more that I could talk about in this one clip, but I think I'm going to let it stay there, and I would love to see what you think. Because what I think is if your holy books can get you such widely different results about what the message is and who the person of God and Jesus and the Gospels are, what they're talking about, if you can get this divergent, there is something desperately wrong, dare I say, demonically wrong with your holy book and your religion. It sounds like the kind of religion to stay well away from. But that's just me. How about you, skeptics and seekers? .squarespace.com. Log in your Discuss account and discuss away. Send me an email, skepticsandseekers@gmail.com. Until next time, I will see you in the comments. In the meantime, I'm out. I'm out.